Behind the Counter is sponsored by
GoDaddy.com. Sign up for a new account and get your domain name for only $2.49 by using promo code Queens at checkout.
All right, turn my mic on. Is it on?
Yeah.
Is it on now? I can't hit. Can you pop me up a little bit? All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Behind the Counter. We've been away for far too long. I'm your host, Rich Stambolin, and with me as always is the world's angriest Vin Diesel fan, Jonathan Adler.
I am not angry about Vin Diesel. I'm very happy for that young
You're
man.
passionate in your anger about just you want everybody to love him.
Everyone does love him. Riddick was #1 film in the box office.
Did you see it?
No, not yet. I definitely will be seeing Riddick. I am a big fan of the trilogy.
We're not afraid of the dark.
He's awesome. You really have a problem with Vin Diesel?
Not really. I could care less about him. Actually,
I don't think you.
To be honest,
I don't think you've really put your full foot in. I think you've done the toe, but I don't think you've done the full foot of the Vin Diesel lake.
Yeah, you know what? I think you might be right about that.
You haven't done the Fast and Furious.
No.
You really haven't done the Riddick. You haven't seen Chronicles of Riddick.
No, I saw Pitch Black.
Pitch Black was awesome. You like Pitch Black?
I saw it such a long time ago that I don't really remember it.
Chronicles of Riddick is
He was
awesome.
like a secondary character in it too. That
Yeah, for the most
spun
part.
this.
Yeah, for the most part.
Giant. What about Babylon AD? You a big Babylon AD fan?
I never saw it.
What about the one where he's like the big fat lawyer?
I like that one.
Yeah.
It's like quit me.
That's when he goes around calling everybody like a queef or something, right?
Yeah. He's good. I mean, now he's going to be a Marvel property,
That's true.
possibly 2 Marvel properties, and I respect the man for taking his Dungeon Dragon character and making a viable movie thing out of it.
I'll agree with that.
That's
That is
pretty
true.
cool.
That's a really excellent way to put it.
Plus, I mean, who could do that? Like, I got a bunch of superheroes in my mind that I'm not going anywhere. And also, I was very proud of him that the day that Riddick came out,
He came out.
it's very possible. They put out a video of him singing a Rihanna song, like karaokeing, and he could be the new Leonard Cohen. He has a great voice for the crowd.
Get out of here.
It's that voice, man. That voice is tremendous. It's great.
He's the new Stallone. That's why they hired him based on voice alone.
He's better than Stallone.
That's Diesel Stallone.
He's got more. First of all, he's got more range than Stallone. The most range Stallone has ever done is Copland.
I think yes, I saw it in the theater. I always thought the weird part about that movie was that he broke that window with his ear. Well, anyway, welcome back,
Welcome
John.
back.
Welcome back, me. Welcome back,
Welcome back,
Andrew.
Rich.
Thank you.
Hello.
Welcome back to the audience.
Welcome back,
We know
audience.
you've missed us. This is
Welcome back, Jesus.
your
How
one
about
stop.
Cotter? Welcome back, Cotter.
Welcome back, Cotter.
Your one-stop shop for everything comic book, pop culture, and awesome
Sandwiches.
/ beard-related sandwiches right here on GFQLive.tv.
Remember that.
Every week.
We're big on the sandwiches.
We'll see you next week.
We're big on sandwiches. We're big on selling mats. That's the show tonight.
Good night,
John.
everybody.
All right.
Can we do a show that's just one long intro where we introduce a bunch of people that are not here and then just sign off?
Oh,
I want to talk about Brian. Hi, Brian. How
Hey,
you
Brian,
doing,
how's it going?
Brian?
All right, cool. And we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Oh, and also, I want to give a big ups to Matt Voles for the present. Thank you very much. I should have mentioned on the last show, but
The rest of the show. Bring it on next week.
yeah.
I'll bring my copy.
bring it on. We should scan pictures and just put them on the
Well,
internet.
he was in town, so I wanted to have him come on the show, but he was going to a Violent Films concert.
A Violent Films concert.
Violent.
Oh,
Femmes.
Violent Femmes
Yeah.
concert.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I would
That
love to-
one song still holds a lot of weight with a lot of people, huh?
They got a great album. It's a great album.
So what's going on, man? It's been a while.
Not a whole lot. We were just talking beforehand. You heard about the Saul Goodman thing.
Yes.
Got greenlit.
Prequel.
So excited.
Can't wait.
Yeah, but here's a scary thing about it. What they're announcing is the licensing of Saul Goodman. So what that means is they can go ahead without Odenkirk, then go out without Gilligan or any of the writing team.
That's very interesting and very weird because I the last I heard, I thought Vince Gilligan was attached to it.
It's what he's been pitching it, but
Okay.
AMC has their official greenlit blurb.
But you got to bring him on.
I mean, well, now we're going to talk about money.
Is he going to be on AMC?
Yeah. And it's great since the prequel, we can get characters like, Gus come back and Mike come back.
The origin of Huel.
Oh God, Mike! I
know.
wanted all about Mike.
I know.
I
We
love
all
him.
do.
I think you're gonna have a more lighter tone show than Breaking Bad. if it goes through. And I've said this since that rumor started last year. I want David Cross on the show, big time.
Yeah, I think they'll figure it out. Like
Wacky Janitor.
As who?
have him as his younger brother or something like that. You can figure out a role
or like
for that guy.
Or like Mike's like brother, younger brother, and he's like an idiot.
Yeah, or even have him as like one of his original bodyguards or something like that.
I'm all caught up, by the way.
How intense was that last episode?
Oh my god!
Mm-hmm. I haven't felt like that since the last 2 seasons of the show.
Yeah, I haven't felt
really good.
That was such a powerful reaction, and I have a strong feeling the next episode is going to open up with the aftermath of that, like you not seeing what happened.
What do you think the aftermath's going to be?
I think that's the whole episode. Is you're going to be wondering what happened. I think you're going to see Walt afterwards, and then you're not going to know who walked away from that thing.
Right. I agree with that.
The cop is dead, not Hank. The other cop. I think he's going to be dead.
I agree.
I was hoping they would just blow Hank's brains out.
Hank is dead. I'm almost positive Hank and Goldman.
But then who's? I don't think Hank's dead, and I'll tell you why. Who's after Walt? Like, how did it all come out then? If Hank is dead, because Hank is the only one that knows.
Well, Jesse's walking away from that thing.
Yeah,
I'm almost positive. Jack.
I don't think Jesse rats him out to the cops.
No.
After Hank is gone, there's that.
That's all done. So
I think the white supremacists hold Hank hostage for him to cook, and they take his money.
Could be. Well, no, I don't know about that. I think
they don't know the money's there.
I'm the way that I don't know any prior things or anything about this, but I think this is the episode that he leaves town.
The next one coming.
This Sunday.
What is it, like 3 or 4 episodes left?
3 episodes left.
Jeez.
Oh man,
so
it's so good.
You still have to have him leave town. I think this is like, because you know how
you got to explain a year into the future.
Well, remember how last episode exactly. So remember how last episode, when he met up with Saul, and Saul's like, "Are you wearing?" He's with Saul's like, "Are you wearing a Bulletproof vest?" And then he like, Walt looks over at his family. He's like, "Oh, maybe I should get them Bulletproof vests also."
Right.
And then like he finds out the money. He's like, "I'm out of here."
Right.
I think that was the last time he'll see those people. I think the everything you've known at that point is that them all sending off to each other. Like even Hank on the phone with his wife, "I love you. I'm gonna be not home for a while."
Right.
A little hammy a little bit on the surface, but I think this is the last thing.
Yeah.
Plus, Gomi was on Talking Bad last week, and then this week is Hank. So I think they're both done.
Yeah.
Hank is
it's weird how they usually do that.
Hank can't survive 2 gun battles like that.
No, not at all.
What do you think the payoff's going to be at the end?
I really don't know.
I mean, guess the last scene right now.
I don't know.
Guess the last scene. Walt blowing his brains out.
I love a big reason why I love this show so much is because it's always so surprising, and Gilligan is definitely smarter than me in terms of like guessing where the plot goes and plotting. He knows how to subvert your expectations, and I think Walt will be dead by the end of the series.
I don't think they're going to show it. I agree with you. I think the last scene will be Walt finally feeling comfortable and finally saying like, "Oh, well, they're not going to get me now."
No, it's stupid.
And he's going to be sitting wherever he is, and then at that moment, you're going to hear the knock at the door, the stomping coming up, and he's just going to have the ricin, and that's going to be it.
Thankfully, you are not a TV writer.
I'm not saying that's what I want to see.
But that's Sopranos ending. He said he will not do a Sopranos ending. He's not doing that. He will have something very definitive at the end.
That what's happening.
Yeah, it's not going to be open for interpretation.
I agree with that. I do want to see more of Hank's arc about how he should really be thanking Walter for leveling the playing field and getting rid of every single major baddie
Got me a promotion.
that there was.
Got a promotion also.
Exactly.
Got a pay bump.
Killed that dude. Killed all the other dudes. Killed the major, the chicken man. No more meth on the streets. No more pure meth on the streets. And this is like Hank's taking it personally.
Well, I also think that the checks are going to come into a play somehow.
What checks?
The people that Lydia's selling to out of the country, the Eastern Europeans that she keeps on talking about.
Oh yeah,
because like she's going to figure into this whole thing big time. Well, also
unless they kill him.
The next episode's called Ozymandias. The episode after that, I can't remember, but the last one's called Felina. So Felina is a female cat. But it also FELINA are all what do they call it?
The chemicals.
The chemical
compounds,
for blood, sweat, and meth.
Okay, so that's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Awesome. It's kind of interesting.
So smart, that show.
Great show.
Amazing show. I'm so glad that you actually.
No, I was not into it because the whole meth thing. I saw the first couple episodes from the first season. I think I saw almost the entire first season, and it didn't do it for me.
Right.
And Jessica forced me to watch the second season. I was like, oh my God, the show's great.
Yeah.
The show's great. It's great. And the evolution of the characters is just like nothing I've ever seen before. The cinematography is unbelievable. I feel like they have like 3 episodes left, but there's so many loose ends to tie, like with Lydia, with, like you said, the Eastern Europeans, Jesse, Hank, Marie, Skylar, the son.
That's gonna get taken care of.
There's so many loose ends to tie. I'm just hoping like the last 2 episodes they don't rush everything.
Nah, because look at what they've been doing. Like every episode has been absolutely packed with story.
I felt like the prior episode was not that great. Not the one that just passed, but the one before that.
I think every episode's knocked it out of the park in the weird way, because they're really down to the wire and they planned this out extremely well.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get like 3 rapid fire episodes before the show ends, and I guarantee you it's gonna leave everybody in tears.
Yeah.
Hank coming up with the concept to get like the cow brain and splatter it on the floor.
Everything was great.
That was, to me, I was like, wow, this guy isn't an idiot.
Well, the great thing also.
5 seasons?
No, he's
Took 5 seasons.
Hank is a genius.
He's a goon. He's a goon.
But he's a genius when it comes to like catching people.
Police work, yeah.
Police work. He's really good at it. But what I like about the whole standoff thing, even before the standoff, but like getting Walt where he needed to be. That's a combination of Jesse and Hank that they actually did outsmart the smartest guy in the room.
Right.
Like it's more important than a shootout or anything is that they actually outsmarted Walt.
Right. Exactly.
Which is awesome, man.
Did you see that they're selling Schrader Brow in different restaurants in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Now? It's kind of interesting. Sons of Anarchy premiere. You catch it?
Yeah, I did, of course.
Brutal.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
You did?
I'm into that now too.
Yeah.
Just got me into that.
Good, man.
Motorcycles.
It's still an incomplete show.
Yeah.
Poor Otto, man. I read an article.
Great episode.
I was reading a great article. I think from New York Mag about like the 10 like most violent moments in Sons of Anarchy history.
Yeah.
So like they had like the burning of the tattoo in the first episode. They had
Tig's daughter.
Tig's daughter was definitely up there. The rape of what's her face,
The wife.
Gemma. Yeah.
and but like then like 4 of them were Otto stuff. When he gets eyes carved out, him biting his tongue off, him stabbing the girl, and now he's getting bum raped.
Oh, terrible.
But yo, man, Donald Logue. Donald Logue is one of the most underrated actors out there. That guy adds so much. I'm telling you right now, sit down, go on your Netflix when you have a chance, sit down and watch Terriers. Terriers is one of the greatest shows to be on FX.
I think he's gonna get an Emmy for this for some reason.
He's awesome
because his character is fantastic, and I really like the end bit with him just like Jesus in front of the mirror.
Yeah,
and then it pulls back to reveal he's naked.
Well, and the Gregorian chants when he's shooting up and everything.
Yeah, really weird.
And jonesing the whole day.
Insane episode.
I haven't caught up on that. I just watched the season premiere, but I'm at the. I just finished the skinheads, like the white supremacists.
Okay. Oh yeah, so yeah. I mean, they just introduced the guy. At the very
I saw him
end.
kill. They killed Henry Rollins.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
that's a good season.
Yeah.
The show.
It kind of takes a dip after that.
I haven't seen Chuck Zito yet.
That was a pretty
Last
decent season. It's weird.
It's a friend of the shows, by the way.
The show kind of like it dips.
I see him at
up and
Sapphires
down.
all the time.
I love you, Andy Z.
You know,
Does he
he came, Papa. He thinks he has met Jessica like 15 times, and every time he thinks that she's a stripper.
Oh,
no, he doesn't.
Every time. No, every time.
The show's good. I mean, I have a very complicated relationship with Sons of Anarchy. I want to walk away from the show so many times. After the Henry Rollins stuff, it's still good, but once they do the Irish stuff, it just really
I haven't gotten there yet.
Falls to pieces.
It gets really weird.
The kid got kidnapped. I saw that.
Oh my god!
And I just started where they're looking for the kid.
That season the worst.
Is it?
Absolutely the worst. But stick it out. It is worth it.
There's a good payoff. It's in my head. I was joking around about that. I forgot like the nameless biker who has like this Three Musketeers mustache, and he's the one who grabbed Gemma's breast. She made him grab it. My backstory for him is that he was one of the musketeers who got thrown forward in time, and he ends up at like right in the biker place, and they slap a jacket on him. And
well, him and Guillermo del Toro have both good storylines waiting to happen.
I want to see what's going on with that.
He's such a big dude. I really never realized he's so big. He's like Bobby Elvis.
He's like 8 feet tall.
The you know what I also caught? Because I watched a ton of movies while we were off. The World's End.
Didn't see it.
Wow, man. Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything about it, but like they don't sell it properly. That is a frigging awesome movie. I think it's the best of the 3 that he did.
I caught Evil Dead last night.
Oh yeah?
Did you see it?
No, not yet.
One of the most brutal horror movies I've ever seen.
I heard it's really
so over the top.
hardcore.
It's ridiculous. It's really hardcore.
Well,
but they do it in kind of like a semi-realistic way. It still has a little bit of charm.
Yeah.
You know.
So worth watching. I've had it on my thing forever.
You know what it is? It's a loose
interpretation.
It's a loose continuation of
same cabin.
It's the same cabin, and it's kind of like it could easily take place way after all the Ash stuff. You know.
I'll check that out. I saw World War Z yesterday.
How was it?
Not bad.
Yo, World War Z was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, everybody criticized that thing. They're like, "Oh, it's gonna suck." It was. It was a good movie.
It's not the book. It's definitely not the book. But in terms of like action scenes, it friggin' rocked.
Yeah,
totally awesome.
I gotta check it out. I got that.
They told a decent story.
Yeah, it did.
The Israeli girl with the hand.
It kind of falls apart near the end, but it's still a really solid.
I feel like they
song.
rushed it at the end, but they said that was not supposed to be the ending.
Well, yeah, the movie was in developmental hell for like 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, and they decided that they were going to change the ending at the last minute, so they hired somebody to rewrite the entire show.
Does Mel Brooks show up in the movie at all?
Yes.
Awesome. I like it. Let's get to some comics, bro.
All right.
News me up.
News you up. Because we're kind of late to the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, about a month away from all the news that we missed. So I kind of did some backtrack and everything. I tried to pick the best news bits. James Spader's Ultron.
Awesome.
Pretty cool.
I'm fine with that. It makes me always made me uncomfortable,
but that's the point.
But I'm fine with that.
I've hated James Spader for many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
And he's aged into a weird woman.
Oh yeah.
But he has that voice. And Josh Whedon said that he is like the one and only choice that he had for Ultron, which is a weird thing anyway, because I would never associate Ultron with him.
With James Spader?
Yeah. But I think it'll totally work. I think it'll be so awesome.
I always pictured Ultron talking like Starscream from the old Transformers cartoon.
Yeah, the wide mouth and just like
screechy voice, just like
very, not human at all. Not human at all.
James Spader's good though. That's a good. What would your reaction have been if it was James Woods?
I would have gone interesting, and I don't know if I have a problem with it, but he's on that Ray Donovan show now.
How is that show, by the way?
I don't like it. My parents are like eating it up. They I like everyone on the show. It just doesn't do it for me. And John Voight makes me physically sick. But he's on that show, and he's such a gross pig. And I like anything with James Wooden. I'll watch it.
My fiance's been trying to get me to watch that too.
Ray Donovan.
And I've been like, I like Lee Schreiber, but
everyone on the show is good.
Yeah.
Like every dude on the show is really good. There's like a really great cast.
I don't know if I have space in my brain for one more show right now.
I don't. I definitely I don't have the time. Like I have like friggin' 3 hours of wrestling. I've got like Breaking Bad. I've got Boardwalk Empire now. I'm watching The Newsroom. I'm watching
the news.
I'm watching the news. I'm watching Sons of Anarchy. I'm watching movies. I'm watching the FX Hour of Comedy. A lot of stuff, man.
Pretty nuts, man. Yeah. What else we got?
We got a little Batwoman story that may have some of you may have heard about. Batwoman, Kathy Kane, right? Or Katie Kane. Candy Kane.
Yeah.
Young socialite, lesbian, awesome character. She was engaged. She got herself engaged to Maggie Sawyer from ex-cop from Metropolis, who became captain of GCPD in Gotham. And DC adamantly said, we will never allow her to get married.
Really weird.
So J.H. William III and I think William H. Blackman or something like that. Some black.
I forgot.
His name is Blackman. They both decided to, they very publicly said this is ridiculous. And then they also did this before when Villains Month was coming on, which we'll talk about later, was coming on, and they had something with Killer Croc that was really trying to build on his character, because no one really has. And they had that taken away from him, and then the marriage thing being pulled away from them.
Right.
And supposedly very last minute, too. Just, that was it. So they're not on the book anymore. They were let go earlier than they were supposed to. This was to wrap up 24-25, and they're gone now. And Mark and Draco is taking over, who's a very good writer.
Manhunter.
Yeah, And the Dio very publicly, I think at Toronto Comic-Con, he said, none of my characters will ever be married. They're, especially because she is part of the Bat family, that her life is dedicated to, saving the world and a life of misery.
Okay.
So, I mean, like, okay. I agree with some parts of this. Like this, like I use Spider-Man as an example. Like I think when a certain character does get married, you do take that one element of storytelling, the dating aspect of it, out of the window.
Right.
Batwoman is not a book about that, but it made itself, she has a strong connection to her and all that stuff.
The thing with Batwoman is that it was an organic thing that happened on a book that has been nothing but awesome. And
it wasn't North Star just showing up and saying like, I have a guy that I'm with now, let's get married.
Right. Which Marvel did, and like it sold phenomenally, and then that's it. And nobody really reads Astonishing X-Men. I'm sorry, whoever writes Astonishing X-Men. But I really don't see the problem with that. It's honestly a little ridiculous to say like no, and then to kind of spin it into like this no, like these people will not get married. I don't want anybody married, because eventually Superman and Lois will be married again.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's why they're keeping them away from so long.
Right.
I think it's a dumb stance.
It is very dumb stance.
He should have never opened his mouth, first of all. This has caused the Dio there's a fire the Dio hashtag that's trending now. This guy is in a rough spot in terms of fan reaction. It started with the Batgirl thing with the Cassandra Cain stuff.
Right.
Then we had the Wally West, the Donna Troy, which I really, like Wally West definitely I'm invested in because that's my Flash.
Right.
Donna Troy I don't care about.
Right.
I've never read a really good Donna Troy story. That's not true. I've read some more Wolfman stuff. What?
Wolfman.
But I don't. I really.
Yeah.
There has to be some type of change that comes out of this. Because it's so public too.
Right. But like the Dio is also in the best position for his career, because like as long as he keeps it at that norm, whoever's above him is going to say like, you know what, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Here's a little extra money.
Yeah. I mean, like obviously he's, there was a Bleeding Cool article about in defense of the Dio saying about all the good that he's done, and like he is the only reason why Warner Brothers has decided to like basically cannibalize and say like, just license off all their characters.
Right, yeah.
Because they're not always in the greatest position of, sales wise.
Right.
But I think that there's such a weird like OCD micromanagement that goes on with the Dio with his books, and such a weird idea of what a book really should represent.
Right.
Because it's ideas don't say Jim Shooter or not even just Joe Quesada, but like certain editors can really put a fire in your ass.
Right.
I don't think Dio is that guy.
Right.
I don't think he's ever been that guy.
Like the best comics are always comics that have that subliminal message in them, which is honestly like it's the basis of 90% of comic books. Like you have that underlying message to like a Captain America story or anything like that, where it's like, oh, this is what he really meant. Like that subtext of whatever the writer's really trying to approach the reader with. And you've had that for generations. Like 70s Marvel with the cosmic stuff, and that was all like drug representation. Like we're gonna take you into outer space and all this. I feel like it's harder for DC to get away with stuff like that now, but it can be done, and it can be done in an excellent way. I think Grant Morrison tried to do it in Action Comics, and it kind of went a little haywire. And I think the same thing with Batman Incorporated, where it's more of the ideal than anything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want to read. I want to bite into my comics.
Yeah, and like with we'll talk about For Evil. It seems like the headline is pretty much going in the right direction, but when there's stuff like this that pops in, then there's the Harley Quinn storyline that happened this week, which is like ridiculous. You know about the Harley Quinn thing?
No, like I didn't pick up the Villains Month Harley Quinn.
No, it has nothing to do with that. No. It's just it's Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor. They're doing a Harley Quinn #0 book. And they said, okay, fans, like here's a page dialogue. We're gonna have a contest. Send in you drawing this. This page of dialogue.
Right.
And one of the pages has Harley Quinn naked in a tub, surrounded by like electronic equipment, and she's gonna like kill herself, or whatever. That's a joke, and that because what they want to do is they want to bring back the Looney Tunes version of Harley Quinn.
Right.
So like Mark Waid got into it with like Gail Simone and Kurt Busiek and all this stuff, and saying how inappropriate and all this stuff was coming out, like, oh, you're asking fans to draw a naked person, and like, is this what you want? And it's like, I really don't think that DC has any idea what its core audience is, because if you look at the 52, it was supposed to be for a new audience, right?
Right.
Which, because they're not selling it to our audience, because we know the deal is already. But all their books seem to be gearing towards adults.
Right.
Like we started out with the Catwoman having sex with Batwoman in the first arc.
Right.
We had Deadshot having sex with Harley Quinn with Joker's face on his face.
Right.
You had a lot of there were almost all the books.
A lot of adult stuff, yeah.
Adult stuff. So you weren't gearing it to a younger audience. So I don't know I don't think they know where their headspace is when it comes to their characters right now.
Especially Palmiotti came out and was like, this was a tongue-in-cheek kind of, it was a joke because she's Harley Quinn. She's the Joker's associate. This is a whole thing. We want fresh talent to do stuff for us, and you guys kind of misinterpreted it.
But that's also, it goes, because the thing is that it goes again, the whole argument was also because Harley Quinn is no longer the jokey character. She still is, but she's more of the Arkham version from the video game, where she's very much the dark and twisted, like the House of a Thousand Corpses version of her. She's Shirley Muzabi.
Yeah.
So.
It's kind of interesting, but you know what? As much as I feel like today is going to be one of the very few times that we're not going to dump on a lot of the DC stuff. Because
speak for yourself, brother.
For some reason, I'm really digging a lot of the weird. I think it's stupid what they did. Well, a lot of it with just like the reordering and renumbering and rejiggering.
See, that's where my problem is.
Right. Yeah, that's my problem too. I think that's everybody's problem. Is that because you're getting a mix of writers on different books, and you're getting a mix of just this like I'll give you a good example, like the Dark Side. Just showing up in the Justice League thing, which is just it's weird because Darkseid hasn't been around since the. So
let's give some background. Let's give some background on this at first. So for the entire month is now Villains Month in DC
from September to October.
Yeah. So every issue is being replaced by a villain. So let's say Justice League is going to be Darkseid, as you're saying, but. The what they did is very unusual. So they did Justice League is going to be Justice League, say 23.1.2, 0.3.4, but co-assigned to the week that's coming out. But at the same time, characters that you assume there would be in a certain book with a certain creative team are gone. So say a thing in Batgirl is now Batman Robin, 23.4.
Right.
So the numbering system is it makes it very difficult to follow. On top of that, they've also removed all the credits from the covers of the books.
Right.
So you don't really know what you're in for. And I've picked up stuff that I thought was going to be, I'm reading, Batman.
Exactly.
I'm going to pick up this Batman book. It's going to be awesome, and it's not awesome.
I've been, I noticed that immediately going to the store, and I was like, all right, I kind of braced myself because, we do the show and you got to keep up with it. So immediately I flipped through all my stack, and I pretty much got all of them, just in case I got all of them in the stack, and then flipped through, and I was like, I don't want to read this, just to see what the credits were.
Yeah.
Because you have to be a little discerning with who you like, as a writer and creator, whatever. So, I put a ton back, and I was just I forgot there was two of them where I was like, I don't pick up this book every month, but I'm picking up the 23.1 because of the creative team who does whatever number one, whatever that was. A lot of the stories have been excellent. I feel like it's also causing a lot of fan derision. I really like that Joker one.
I like the Joker one too.
Right. Which one did you not like?
Well, honestly, I am behind on a lot of them because it is a big glut of stuff I have to work through, and I because I'm doing it digitally, I'm looking at lists as opposed to cover images. So I'm looking at Justice League 23.2. I don't know what that book is until I decide to open it up in my on my computer.
Yeah.
Now, I love the Joker one. I did like the Snyder Riddler one.
That was excellent. That came out yesterday.
But I don't think it's up to quality of him.
Right.
Because it was a co-writer with him. I think Sterling Gates or Tinian. I liked the Night of Owls one I read.
I didn't get up to that.
That was really awesome. That was really good. That actually made me want to go back and pick up Talent from the beginning again.
Okay.
Before I left, I read the Lobo one.
What'd you think about that?
I absolutely hated it.
Okay.
I have. You're gonna tell me you like this?
No. I want to hear this. You know I'm a big Lobo guy.
All right, so like I love Lobo. He loves Lobo. The whole thing with this is they basically said that the Lobo that we've known and loved is not the Lobo. It's basically the first appearance Lobo.
Right.
From when he first appeared in like I think Legion of Superheroes.
Omega Man.
Omega Man, yes. Yeah. So it's the same like tight costume, thin dude, and he's got weird blue crap all over his face. That's blue glass.
It's really weird that they went with that redesign because it looked like I may be biased to a lot of things, but I feel like if you showed that to somebody who doesn't read comic books, just on an aesthetic level, they'd be like, that looks terrible.
Yeah.
Like, why would you put that blue crap on his face like that? It's weird. If they redesigned it, like honestly, and like this is such a weird gripe, whatever, but like who signed off on like the weird blue stuff on the character's face? When
I picked up the issue, I looked at it and I'm like, at first I didn't associate that this is like OG original Lobo, right, which nobody wants.
But the original Lobo still looked like Lobo. He
still had the short
kind of like
hair.
a mohawk and like the same idea.
Yeah, he had the kiss makeup and the whole nine. And aesthetically, Lobo really worked because casual fan loved it. He was a badass dude. He looked like kind of like Wolverine with kiss makeup on. I liked it. He beat up Superman.
Got an awesome vest.
The regular fan are probably signing into Lobo because they've enjoyed the Keith Giffen era, awesome like Lobo stuff. There's none of that in there. They made him talk like a friggin' idiot. Like, you don't know me. You don't know me. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. The book ends on I'm sorry, I'm not sorry.
Yeah, that's a weird character thing that I feel like it shouldn't that's my gripe with it. Number one, we ragged on it. I feel like when they announced it, but then the creators came out and they were like, "This is not." We wrote the book.
Don't worry, you got this.
We wrote a book that they gave us, and we did our best with it, and you're not seeing the end of the book. Apart from the redesign and not writing the character good, I thought the reveal was kind of interesting about how it's, I'm really Lobo, and this guy is, because as a fan, you're jacked up.
I want that guy to kill him.
Right. You want like jacked up, dreadlocked, awesome Lobo to kill this new guy.
Yeah, and I love I just picked up Injustice.
Right.
So I was playing the Justice the other day, and I like it. It's got its quirks. Yeah. But they have the.
Would you pick it up for Xbox or
Xbox? Yeah.
Or PlayStation? We always do that.
I know. I don't know why you pick up stuff PlayStation, and I don't know why I pick. Because I downloaded it. It was $40 on Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they're having a big sale. And all the skins are half off, whatever.
Lobo was awesome in it.
But he had the Grant Morrison 52 outfit with the Civil War trench coat and the dreadlocks and everything. I'm like, awesome.
Right.
But you're an artist. From an artist perspective, I understand the lithe look, the thin look, and what they did with his face, but the glass in his face, is just so. It doesn't make any sense. I understand you want to make this guy an alien and make him look unusual,
right?
But there's something so unaesthetically unpleasing about the way this guy looks.
I feel like there's a weird way that it's gonna come out that those the placement
some functions.
The placement has some kind of that's why they're there, kind of thing. I also doubt that. I feel like me personally, the way I would have redesigned him, I would have stuck with him being a skinny guy. I wouldn't have given him
the hook,
the glowing swords.
No.
I would have given him something different. Not even a hook, but just one thing,
Yeah, dude, he sucks.
And this is me personally, but I don't write comics,
No motorcycle, no nothing. No dog.
No dog.
No penis on his arm.
I would have made whatever stuff on his face look like the kiss makeup, but maybe different.
Yeah, no, you do a variation on that. Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Just do a little variation on that, and it's kind of weird. I really want to see that showdown, and I really hope it doesn't come to I hope it doesn't come to
where are you gonna show? Where they having this showdown?
Exactly. That's the other thing. That's the other thing that. All right, here's another gripe about this, but it's weird because this. To preface it, it seems like their heart is semi in the right place to put these books out because it's the Riddler book is a good example. Because it takes a pre-existing story, it builds on it, and it leads it. You're gonna, by the end of that story, with Riddler saying, I'm just going to sit here and play my card game until it's time to do my thing.
Yeah.
So you're going to get an awesome Riddler story from Scott Snyder, right? Yeah. The Joker thing was really cool because it was a nice one-shot kind of weird origin of Joker thing where he just ran rampant for a year.
Him about a monkey. Him about raising apes.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. And great Andy Clark art. He is awesome.
Yeah. But like the Lobo thing, it's kind of like, are you going to get a Mystery in Space book? Where is this going to happen? Is this going to happen in Titans?
I feel like they did say where it is. I'm just not recalling. But looking at the books they have out on the shelf right now, I don't know where they can put them in.
And also, like a weird thing that you mentioned last week, because I was telling you about the Superman parody adult movie.
Yes.
And they threw Killer Frost in there.
Yeah.
And
Killer Frost book.
And you went on about how, like, for some reason DC loves putting Killer. They put her in the Injustice game. She was on the cartoon and
White Banshee.
Right.
Yeah. And
you get the Killer Frost book, which is like kind of like out of nowhere almost.
Yeah. Well, the choices are very unusual. I mean, because I understand you have to fill up, a month, 2 months worth of books. Now, but let's talk about the structure for a second. Very unusual way of doing a crossover. Number one, you had Trinity War, which was surprisingly very good. We were bashing this up until the point that it came out,
and then it was like a 180 of
I'm like, whoa,
this ain't bad
because it was like old school DC,
right?
It was like good, like Jeff Johns era DC, and then Forever Evil starts up, and the first issue was awesome,
right?
Really awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you really don't know next to anything in Forever Evil number one. Like the villains won. You don't know why. Earth 3 is in the house.
Which is phenomenal.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
But then this starts. I would have waited until at least a second or third issue to launch Villains Month because they all, like you said, it kind of just feels like a lot of stuff is in limbo. Like the Riddler one had like the stuff in the background.
Right.
With like, the riots going on, but you don't know really any implications of it and why this is happening. That may be a reason part of the story as part of the storyline.
Right.
The what was the other one that did that? The Two-Face book.
I had that one.
It was okay.
No, actually, you know what? I did read it because it just seemed like it was a one-shot Two-Face story. Slice of life in the day of Two-Face.
But that's what I'm taking away from a lot of these books. Like, I love the Forever Evil plot. I love the idea behind it. I think it's an awesome, awesome book. The villain stuff, I feel, is like you're reading a long series of annuals, like in the 90s.
I kind of agree with that. Like, I'll give you a good example. The Poison Ivy #1.
Didn't read it.
I feel like that was filler. It didn't really do much. But again, like there's a lot of books that I have. Like it's a lot of books, man. Because like you're going for almost every major title. Right now? Yeah, for every major title, you're getting a month's worth of books. You know, so you're getting 4 Action Comics. I read the Bizarro one, which was kind of weird.
You liked it. I shit on it, but I really, I was a little hard on it than I should have been.
Okay.
I guess because I'm seeing the other books and it was actually one of the better ones compared to
right. And like you're getting 2 Aquamans, you're getting a million Batman books because he has the biggest rogues gallery.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat. And you know what? As a device to sell books, absolutely.
Yeah. Sure.
And you know what? Like my comic store, all they had in stock was for the Riddler was the 3D cover, and everybody picked it up, and it's $1 more.
Crazy.
It's it's insane because like I picked up. I'll be honest, I did pick up a few 3D covers.
Are they cool?
The Darkseid one and the Joker one. And I picked up the Lobo one. It's Lobo.
Yeah.
But like a lot of them are really cool. A lot of them are awfully pointless. The Two-Face one, extremely pointless. Just picture the regular cover.
It's just like no glasses, no nothing. You do
that thing. It's kind of neat, It's honestly kind of neat, but some of the books are just like they're not as dynamic as you want them to be.
But that's the thing. They're kind of like just floating on its own. Like I don't like.
Right.
All right. So let's. I don't want to talk about that, but I kind of have to.
Real quick, most of the books are Batman villains. You have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 of the books
crazy
are Batman villains.
And look at the Rogues, my other favorite villains, are getting their own main series for this thing.
Right.
Or one shot or whatever.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But, like to justify like an Arcane.
Well, of course, but those are the dudes that you want to see.
Right. It's like let's say for Titans, you're getting a Trigon book.
Nobody wants to Trigon.
Right, which is kind of like I don't know why Titans every so often tries to force
Trigon,
the Trigon thing
and
down
Brother
your throat.
Blood.
Right, but you're getting Deathstroke at some point too.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman, you're getting Cheetah. Fine,
cool.
Justice League Dark, you got Creeper and Eclipso, but Eclipso's written by Dan DiDio. I know you're not going to pick that one up.
I am going to read it though. I read Phantom Stranger for whatever reason, and he writes that.
Do you really?
It's awful.
Gonna see what happens.
It's like Dan DiDio writing a Constantine book.
Green Lantern gets a bunch. Green Arrow gets Count Vertigo.
Did you read the Relic issue?
I did not.
Oh my God!
You told me it was amazing.
That was the absolute best one. I'll tell you why.
Okay,
telling you why right now.
Tell me why.
Take it to the bridge.
You can tell me why.
It is that completely is not a Forever Evil book. It should have been the beginning of the Green Lantern run. It adds new layers to the Green Lantern mythos.
Okay,
and really makes me understand his character and how awesome it is.
Okay, the Relic character.
The Relic character, which you didn't care. Neither of us cared about this big guy with a backpack on.
Right.
But it is awesome. Such an awesome book and beautiful art. Every page is a splash page, but not a splash page in terms of like action. It was a splash page like who's the dude who did Stardust?
Charles Vess.
Charles Vess, like Charles Vess style drawings on it. Very cool. But like that was one of the few exceptions that actually like the Riddler stuff is incorporated into it. It's going to be loosely tied in, but I want some weight to my stories. Like we're going to talk about at length next week when we talk about Infinity. But like Infinity is one that you every tie-in is at least the major tie-ins are leading directly into the book. Right.
Infinity has a lot of weight with your New Avengers and your Avengers books.
They're parts of the story, like directly.
And it's so far so good. That thing is awesome.
Oh man. Well, next week the third one comes out, so we should dedicate most of it to Infinity, and then I think the week after that is Battle of the Atom. We should talk about extensively.
Oh my God, Battle of the Atom.
And
so good.
So we have three major crossovers happening in like usually by now. They're using the halfway mark or something like that, or at least they're almost done. This is a late start for all the summer stuff.
Yeah.
Crossovers are usually not hitting around this time. But like, I am definitely invested more into DC now because of Forever Evil.
I agree with that completely. I think this is like a weird, the Villains Month is a little messed up with it, but that Forever Evil #1.
But look at its sales. Sales are doing well.
Sales are doing very well for it. I also don't think...
It's a novelty act.
I think it's a novelty act. I also don't think your Fairweather fan is really paying, like you said, is really paying attention. So you're going to get people getting 15 Batman books and being like, oh, cool, Mr. Freeze on the cover. Like, oh, this is replaced and this and that. But there are other fans that are going bananas because they can't read their story every month, and you're getting
a timeout.
For what's your favorite book in DC?
Batman, probably.
So you're getting your regular Batman book replaced by Andy Kubert, who did the Joker, Scott Snyder and Ray Fawkes, who did...
He wrote that issue, right?
Riddler. Right. He
did a
co-wrote
good job. He's writing the Damian.
Oh, Andy Kubert? Yeah. Which I'm pretty excited about that. You're getting Penguin #1 by Frank Thierry, and you're getting Bane #1.
What was the book that he's doing?
Penguin #1.
Oh boy.
With Frank Thierry. You're getting Bane #1 with Peter Tomasi. So
Peter Tomasi, very good.
If you're picking up Batman every month, now it's kind of like you're almost forced to pick up 4 books to replace the 1 book because you're afraid that these books are going to hold weight in the title, which is a little unfair to fans, especially if you're on a budget and you like all these characters.
But that's probably exactly what they're doing. That's probably why they did not do like say Joker #1 and do Penguin #1 and just do one shots during the whole month.
Right. Which is
they're forcing you to read the stuff.
Right. They're making you read it.
That's why you're not getting a Batgirl and a Catwoman being replaced. You're getting the main core titles that sell: Batman, The Dark Knight, Batman, Robin, regular Batman, Green Lantern.
Right. Well,
I don't think they're even doing Corpse. I think Green Lantern is the one that's we've carried over.
Right. You're getting every single Batman book, which is, but like that's a little bananas to me. You're getting both Superman books are being replaced. I feel like they kind of stretched it a little bit. Cyber Superman #1, fine. Zod, fine.
That book sucked. That was awful.
I didn't pick it up.
I like him, but that was not good.
Zod, fine. Lex Luthor, absolutely.
Yeah.
Metallo, a little bit of a stretch.
Can't stand Metallo.
But Bizarre #1, absolutely. Brainiac, absolutely. Parasite, I always like Parasite as a Superman villain for some odd reason. I always thought he looked like a big piece of bubblegum.
I like Parasite also. I liked him in Forever Evil, like him being a creature, just like open mouth in the background.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you get like my favorite Parasite is the fact that he's a thug who doesn't know any better, and he just wants to drink Superman.
Yeah.
And then when he does, he just robs a bank. Like that's. I feel like if you had a flip with him and made him like a super genius, I think that would be hysterical. Also,
Yeah.
it would make for great storytelling. But the Parasite who's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna drink you, bro. Oh, it feels so good right now.
And I like when they play with the way that he looks. Like I like cool regular purple guy, like regular normal generic purple guy, and then I like crazy leech man thing.
Right, yeah.
And I like when they kind of like bring in between with him. I like the character. I've always liked Parasite.
Animated series Parasite, all very awesome.
He was the blank one, right? He was like the normal one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
With kind of like a Kirby-ish costume, which I really dig. But yeah,
but look at all this stuff. Like I'm looking at also Forever Evil is 7 issues.
Right.
And they have Forever Evil Rogues Rebellion, Forever Evil Arkham War, Forever Evil Argus. And then so 24 through
Argus.
20 Argus. So Justice League 24-26 is going to be villains issues. Justice League Dark 24-26. Justice League America 8-10.
Right.
Suicide Squad 24-26. That's weird.
It's a lot of comics.
Teen Titans 24-25. Trinity of Sin Pandora number 6. Trinity of Sin The Phantom Stranger number 14. 14 issues of The Phantom Stranger? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
It's really bananas, but like your creative teams on these books too are like kind of interesting because I feel like if you're flipping through the covers, you're gonna like I don't want to say get turned off. Everybody has their own, everybody likes who they like and everybody likes their characters. So it also comes when it comes to a fan's hand. If you care about if you care about your creative team, let's take Frank Thierry for example. I know you're not a big Frank Thierry fan. I know you're not going to pick up Penguin number 1.
No,
but you love the Penguin.
I do love the Penguin. And the Penguin's had a great run of interest recently too.
Right.
I love the Emperor Penguin storyline.
Let's say Jim Starlin wrote Mongol number 1, which is kind of refreshing because I like Jim Starlin's cosmic stuff.
Well, Matt Kint on Suicide Squad is pretty awesome.
Same thing with Greg Pak. I feel like Greg Pak at DC, there's going to be something brewing with him.
Yeah, I know.
But Eclipse number 1 by Dan DiDio, you're not going to pick that up. But then again,
I might because I love Eclipso. But no, it's weird too. That I mean, like I think it's a great idea. I do think inherently it's a good idea. But as opposed to Marvel, DC has never been known for their villains, as aside from the Rogues Gallery.
Right.
I don't know. It's I'm sticking to it. I mean, I'm gonna definitely check out the rest of the stuff. And anything Tomasi, right? Like him doing the Arkham War, I'm definitely gonna read. Tomasi's writing that. Matt Kint's writing the Vargas stuff. I hate the Team 7 book, but Matt Kint on the book is that's pretty awesome. He's a great writer.
The thing I really like about Forever Evil is that it also has that old kind of like DC feel to it. But I really enjoyed the
Superman breaking down kryptonite with his eyes and then
inhaling it. Oh my god, amazing! Ultraman.
Yeah, Ultraman. And also that they kept the sun thing where he's like a vampire.
Right. Yeah.
He has to go away when the sun comes out.
But I also really enjoyed how the book began with Luthor and ended with Luthor because the number 1 Superman hater says like, "Oh crap!" Like,
so
this is the job for Superman.
So and also the first issue they brought out a prisoner from Earth 3. Are you also going along with Alex Luthor being that guy?
I want to say no.
Really?
No,
especially with the Luthor factor.
No, like you know what, like because there was I think I may be mixing up continuity because in pre-relaunch continuity, the Luthor was the only hero on that planet,
right?
And he had the jetpack. Was that Alex Luthor?
It's the same guy, like
this guy,
that guy. And the jetpack guy, same guy, just different versions of the same character.
Okay.
Gold suit, red red curly hair is the same guy. Is jetpack with a big L on his chest.
Okay.
Same dude.
I want that guy. Yeah.
That guy. You want the jetpack. You don't want curly hair. Yeah. No, he was awesome looking too.
Right. But yeah, like that's I think that it might be Alex Luthor.
Yeah.
Which would be really cool.
Well, especially since they're doing such a focus on Luthor.
Right.
And there's also going to be something with Batman in this story also because he's on a lot of the covers with the rest of the villains.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is also the introduction to Cord Industries.
Yes, it is.
Right.
From if unless it was mentioned in another book or something like that.
Okay.
And that we're not reading, but from what I understand, yes, it was.
Which kind of leads to your Blue Beetle.
Hopefully.
And maybe
Did you?
The other guy.
I don't want to skirt subjects, but it's kind of related. Did you read Captain America this week, right?
I did.
Phenomenal issue.
It really hammered home the fact that he's really messed up at this point.
Yeah. Do you see the gravestones?
You know what? I wanted to ask you about that.
When he buried his mom,
Okay.
it was Rex Tyler and Jay Garrick.
Really?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Like really prominently.
I didn't see the Jay Garrick. I saw the Rex Tyler one, and I was like,
Rex Tyler was there, was like in prominence, and then like Jay Garrick was kind of like blocked halfway by him.
Our Man.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Rex Tyler was
Okay.
Our Man.
Yeah. Very interesting.
JSA, baby.
Crossover.
That book was awesome.
It was.
I would love to debate you on this thing because I think this was such a solid run that's going to keep on going.
What, Captain America?
Yeah.
Why would you debate me on it? I liked it.
Because it seems like you were underwhelmed by the storyline.
I wasn't underwhelmed by it. I just like it kind of gives me a little anxiety.
Why?
Because I really want to see that. First of all, I feel like that the whole story, it was very long. It was a little too long.
I thought it was great.
I think it was a little too long. It was almost like another Mystery of the Steak with me.
Oh, no. Because I think it was late often because we're a meter, and I think that's why it felt longer than it really is.
I really liked it. Like I said, it gives me anxiety because I want to know what happens already, and it's really good. And the fact that like he gets really messed up and he has to get like open heart surgery by Tony Stark.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, look what he was. I mean, like I think in the terms of it's a long con for the most part when it comes to the setup of where you want to bring this character. The dude's been in another dimension for 12 years, which is longer than he's been in the regular Marvel universe. He got adopted his son. His son was killed. His fiance came to rescue, killed his son, and was also murdered.
Hasn't aged a day.
Right. And then we basically learned that he's immortal now.
Right. And he burns all his stuff.
And like and which I think was like very, very good dialogue between a really Kirby-esque New World character and Captain America, where she's like, they're both kind of coping with like losing her brother and his son, and her saying like you're surrounded by all these relics and these trophies. I won't give it up. And that last panel of like him burning all of his crap on the roof, like stone faced, is like pretty awesome. And the fact is all pre-Infinity, which is nice to lead into all this crap that we're going into.
Exactly.
And also the mind wipe stuff. So this dude has had a really bad year.
He's got a bad patch.
Yeah.
But it's also like, it's also kind of interesting because like I feel like they're applying the Hulk method to Captain America in a weird way with Planet Hulk and then having him be away for so long and then come back and blah blah.
Yeah.
And but the major part of that is that it's because his son is going to come back.
Well, that was a great reveal.
Yeah, his son's going to come back to Earth. He's going to find him at one point, and it's going to be weird. I also get anxious about this because I feel like at some point this is going to get written out of continuity.
It's one of those weird. It's like the Hulk Doctor Strange Crossroads storyline, which is like a lot of people absolutely love it and people forget it happened.
Right.
Which is like super old TV cinema stuff. I absolutely loved it, and when I was coming into it, I was not excited about it because I had 10 years of great Captain America espionage storylines. So hearing a sci-fi element and focusing on Cap's early years when he was a little kid did not sound interesting to me.
See that stuff's interesting to me because nobody really goes into it.
No. But he proved me wrong. Like Remender is like really in an incredibly on top of his game right now.
Yeah.
Ever since he joined Marvel, I really think that he's just been building and building as a writer. And I think this is a story that involved patience. But I mean, I'm a guy that's really invested in Captain America.
Right.
And to add this extra layer and depth to this character is fantastic. And I really hope it sticks around.
Me too.
And now I'm even more excited about the next storyline because we got Nuke, which is one of my favorite characters.
Right.
And this is going to the Weapon Plus storyline.
Right.
Which also is going to introduce a character that was teased in the Uncanny X-Force storyline that Remender was doing. During the 60s, the Weapon Plus guy who was around was like the psychedelic Bubble Man or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this.
I'm looking forward to it too. Again, a lot of anxiety. I get anxious with Infinity because like you get that's like it's post everything Cap, and I forgot what issue it was. It may have been a tie-in where they were like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "I'm a little off my game, but I'd want to talk about it right now."
Yeah,
nobody knows he's been gone for 12 years.
I think the last Avengers or Infinity was like that.
Yeah,
where he's talking about like someone's messed up with him.
He had a television in his chest,
and we're eventually gonna get the whole thing with like what's going on with him and the Illuminati.
Right.
Eventually.
Right.
That crossover is incredibly tight.
We're gonna have to talk about Infinity at length next week because like just the fact that like now you have you're 2 issues in, you're a few tie-ins in, and you got, I'm not gonna say it, we're gonna say it for next week, but the reveal of why Thanos is coming to Earth combined with the fact that you have like all the creators and the builders and like all the guys that Hickman created as like this massive threat.
Yeah. And they are that.
Very interesting thing too, how Jean Grey's back in regular X-Men continuity, as in we have young Jean Grey and
I don't
old.
trust any of those dudes.
No, me neither. At young Jean Grey and old Jean Grey. I do like old Crappy Beast though.
I like Crappy Beast. I like big old Molly Hayes, from the Runaways.
Yeah.
And it's funny too because a lot of people are pointing like, how does Wolverine not remember? Like Wolverine is,
right.
He has the best memory in the world now.
Mm-hmm.
He's selective memory because every time he's met that girl, she's beat the crap out of him.
Right. It's this big Iceman.
And isn't it weird that every future storyline I've read always has Deadpool on the X-Men team?
Yep.
Every single time, and this guy has
Fan
never been
favorite.
associated with X-Men.
Fan favorite, bro.
But I like the character. I do. I think that on the right hand, he's an incredible character with a lot of depth. But I really would like to see him play with the X-Men a bit more.
Right.
Like I like this. I wouldn't mind seeing him on an X-Men team.
Right. Or like in the mansion at some point.
Something.
It would
validate something like that.
It would lend itself tremendously to whatever they're doing. But when you take a look at Marvel now and all the storylines that are going on, you kind of realize the depth of of like the time stuff that's completely messed up. Also, real
so much
quick,
stuff going on right now.
Real quick, the Mighty Avengers review.
I like it. I liked it.
Yeah?
I really did enjoy it.
I thought it was all right.
Who do you think the Spidey hero is?
I think it's gonna be Miles Morales.
It's not gonna be.
You know what? It can't.
He knows Monica Rambeau.
I want to say Shang-Chi.
She's on the other book.
He's on. I don't read New Fearless Defenders.
No, he's on Avengers. He's on regular.
Oh, that's
Hickman
right.
Avengers.
That's right.
He's in space.
That's.
I think it. You know who I think it might be? I think it might be the captain from Next Wave.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which would be awesome.
That would be really cool.
Because this guy, the guy who's writing it, I forgot his name. He said that he's a huge fan of Next Wave. So that's why he put Photon in the book.
Forgotten book. It's a great book.
I'm getting rid of so many comics, so I found like my Next Wave run, and it's so tight.
You keep that.
I am. It's one of the things I'm keeping. Warren Ellis is coming back to Avengers also. Avengers Assemble in a few months.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Cool stuff.
Keep that up.
And we also have his graphic novel, his original graphic novel is coming out soon.
That's true.
Which is in comic stores right now, but you can't sell it. It's a month early. Crazy.
Figure out a way.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Anyway, that has been our return episode of Behind the Counter. It's the end of summer, and I hope we blew your blues away. Good night.